I never thought a misplaced thumb tap would change my entire life. James stared at his phone, the 3 dots pulsing as Megan typed her response. His ex-wife's sister. The woman he'd accidentally liked on Date Meet after 3 years of lonely single fatherhood. If you're enjoying this story of unexpected second chances, hit that like button and subscribe for more heartfelt content that reminds us all that sometimes our biggest mistakes lead to our greatest happiness. James Parker had mastered many things in his 37 years: carpentry, coaching his daughter's soccer team, making pancakes shaped like dinosaurs, but dating apps weren't one of them. 3 years after his divorce from Kathleen, his friends had finally convinced him to get back out there. His daughter Emma was 8 now, and according to everyone who felt entitled to an opinion on his love life, it was time. "Dad, why are you making that face at your phone?" Emma asked, peering over his shoulder as he scrolled through profiles one Sunday morning. "Just trying to figure this thing out, sweetie," he replied, quickly tilting the screen away. "Go finish your cereal." Emma rolled her eyes with the practiced disdain of a child who already believed herself smarter than her parent. "You should put a better picture on there. The one Mom took of us at the beach last summer was nice." James winced. Co-parenting with Kathleen had evolved into something surprisingly civil, but he still felt strange discussing his dating life with their daughter. "I'll think about it. Now scoot, we've got soccer in an hour." As Emma bounded away, James continued scrolling, barely paying attention to the faces flashing by. He'd been at this for weeks with nothing to show but a handful of awkward conversations that fizzled after a day or two. Maybe he wasn't cut out for this. Maybe. His thumb froze mid-swipe. The woman on his screen looked familiar. Warm hazel eyes, chestnut hair cut in a stylish bob, a smile that reached her eyes. Megan. Kathleen's younger sister. Before his brain could process what he was seeing, his thumb twitched, accidentally hitting the heart icon. A cheerful animation burst across his screen. "You've liked Megan." "No, no, no," he muttered, frantically tapping the screen, looking for an undo button that didn't exist. His phone pinged almost immediately. Match. "Megan liked you too." James felt the blood drain from his face. This couldn't be happening. He hadn't seen Megan in nearly 2 years, not since Emma's birthday party where they'd exchanged polite small talk before gravitating to opposite sides of the backyard. Before the divorce, they'd been friendly. He'd always appreciated her sharp wit and how she'd been the only one in Kathleen's family who didn't treat him like an interloper. But now? This was a complication he didn't need. His phone buzzed with a message notification. "So, you're on Date Meet? Interesting choice, James." He stared at the message for a full minute, his mind racing through possible responses. Should he play it cool? Apologize? Explain it was an accident? Before he could decide, another message appeared. "For what it's worth, I was surprised to see you too. How's Emma?" Something in the simplicity of the question, the familiar territory of talking about his daughter, eased the knot in his chest. He typed back, "She's great. Just started 3rd grade. Soccer obsessed. How have you been?" 3 dots appeared, disappeared, appeared again. James held his breath. "Good. Busy with the new veterinary clinic. Been meaning to reach out about Emma's birthday next month, actually. Wasn't sure if it would be weird." James smiled despite himself. That was Megan, direct, no nonsense. It had always been refreshing compared to Kathleen's family's tendency toward passive aggression. Not weird at all. She'd love to see her aunt. He hesitated, then added, "About the like, honestly, it was an accident. Still figuring out how these apps work." The response came quickly, "Was it? That's a shame." James blinked at the screen. Was she flirting? Before he could overthink it, Emma called from the hallway. "Dad! We're gonna be late." "Coming," he shouted back, quickly typing, have to run. Emma's soccer. Talk later? Looking forward to it. Good luck with the game. As James drove to the soccer field, his mind kept returning to those messages. To Megan's, that's a shame. To the fact that she'd matched with him too, which meant she'd liked his profile before he'd accidentally liked hers. What did that mean? Dad, you missed the turn, Emma said, jolting him back to reality. Sorry, kiddo. Just thinking. Emma studied him with unsettling perception. About what? James hesitated. Actually, I ran into your Aunt Megan online. She was asking about you. Emma's face lit up. Really? I miss Aunt Meg. She always brings the best presents and doesn't talk to me like I'm a baby. Would you like to see her sometime soon? Yes. Emma bounced in her seat. Can she come to my birthday? Mom already said Grandma and Grandpa are coming, but Aunt Meg is way more fun. James chuckled. I'll ask her. That evening, after Emma was in bed, James opened the dating app again. He and Megan had exchanged a few more messages throughout the day, light, casual texts about Emma's soccer victory and Megan's difficult client with the hypochondriac poodle. It felt surprisingly easy. So, he typed, Emma is thrilled at the prospect of seeing you. She specifically requested your presence at her birthday party. The princess has summoned me. How could I refuse? Though I should warn you, I've already bought her something Kathleen will hate. It makes noise. James laughed out loud. You're evil. I approve. Speaking of Kathleen, does she know we're talking? The question hung there, bringing reality crashing back. Kathleen. His ex-wife. Megan's sister. The complicated web of family dynamics he'd thought he'd escaped when the divorce was finalized. No, he replied honestly. Does she need to? The three dots appeared and disappeared several times before Megan's response came through, probably. Eventually. But maybe not yet? I'd like to figure out what this is first. What do you want it to be? James asked, surprising himself with his boldness. I've always liked you, James. Even when I shouldn't have. The admission sent a jolt through him. Had she felt something for him even when he was married to her sister? The thought should have made him uncomfortable, but instead, he felt a strange flutter of validation. I've always liked you too, he wrote back. You were the only one in the family who ever really saw me. I know. That's why this is complicated. James took a deep breath. Would you like to get coffee? Just to talk. In person. Yes. Tomorrow? There's a place near my clinic. 1 p.m. I'll be there. James set his phone down, his heart racing. What was he doing? This wasn't just any woman from a dating app, this was his ex-wife's sister, his daughter's aunt. If it went badly, it wouldn't just be an awkward date to forget, it would have ripple effects through the fragile peace he'd established with Kathleen's family. But if it went well? The next day, James found himself checking his appearance in his rearview mirror before entering the small cafe Megan had suggested. He'd changed shirts 3 times that morning, settling on a blue button-down that Emma had once said made his eyes look less tired. He spotted Megan immediately, sitting by the window, her attention focused on a book. She looked up as the bell above the door announced his arrival, and her smile hit him with unexpected force. This wasn't the polite smile she'd worn at family gatherings, this was something warmer, something just for him. You came, she said as he approached. Did you think I wouldn't? I thought you might come to your senses. She closed her book. This is weird, right? It's not just me. James laughed, tension draining from his shoulders. Definitely weird. But also nice, she suggested. Yeah. Nice. They ordered coffee, and the conversation flowed with surprising ease. Megan told him about her veterinary practice, about the house she'd bought last year, about the cooking classes she'd been taking. James shared stories about Emma, about the contracting business he'd started after the divorce, about his disastrous attempts at dating. "So I'm not the first woman you've met from the app?" Megan asked, stirring her latte. "No, but you're the first one I've actually wanted to see again." Her eyes met his, and something electric passed between them. "Even though I'm Kathleen's sister?" "Maybe because you're you," he said simply. Megan's phone buzzed on the table. She glanced down, and her expression shifted. "Speak of the devil. It's Kathleen." James felt a cold weight settle in his stomach. "Does she know you're here? With me?" "No. It's about Emma's birthday gift. She wants to coordinate." Megan hesitated. "I should probably tell her." "Now?" "Not now. But soon. Before this, whatever this is, goes any further." She looked up at him. "If you want it to go further." James reached across the table and took her hand. It felt right in a way that surprised him. "I do. But you're right. We need to be honest with Kathleen." "She's going to freak out," Megan said, but she didn't pull her hand away. "Probably. But she's moved on. She's been seeing that accountant for what, a year now? 14 months. They're talking about moving in together." James raised an eyebrow. "You've been keeping tabs on me through Kathleen's updates, haven't you?" Megan blushed. "Maybe. Is that creepy?" "It's flattering." He squeezed her hand. "Let me talk to Kathleen. When I drop Emma off this weekend." "Are you sure?" "She's my sister. Maybe I should. I was her husband. This should come from me first." The weekend arrived too quickly. James felt his anxiety mounting as he drove Emma to Kathleen's house. His daughter, perceptive as always, noticed his tension. "Are you and Mom fighting again?" she asked from the back seat. "No, sweetie. We're fine. I just need to talk to her about something important." "About Aunt Meg?" James nearly swerved. "What makes you say that?" Emma rolled her eyes. "Dad, you've been smiling at your phone all week. And you only started doing that after you said you talked to Aunt Meg." Sometimes he forgot how observant children could be. "You're too smart for your own good, you know that. Mom says I get that from you." Emma was quiet for a moment. "Do you like Aunt Meg?" Like her?" James chose his words carefully. "I enjoy talking to her. We're becoming friends." "But you want to kiss her," Emma stated matter-of-factly. "Emma." "What?" "That's what grown-ups do when they like each other." "Are you going to marry her?" "Would that make her my stepmom?" "But she's already my aunt." "That's weird." James took a deep breath. "Slow down, kiddo. Nobody's getting married. We're just getting to know each other better." "Mom's going to be mad," Emma said, suddenly serious. "Why do you think that?" Emma shrugged. "Because Aunt Meg is her sister. And you were Mom's husband." "Were." Past tense. "Your mom has Greg now." "I know. I like Greg. He helps me with math." Emma was quiet again, thinking. "I like Aunt Meg too. She's funny. And she doesn't treat me like a baby." "So, you'd be okay? If Aunt Meg and I spent more time together?" Emma considered this seriously. "As long as you don't get all gross and kissy in front of me." James laughed, relief washing through him. "Deal." When they arrived at Kathleen's house, Emma raced inside, leaving James to follow with her overnight bag. Kathleen greeted him at the door, her expression curious. "Emma just announced that you have something important to tell me," then ran upstairs. Should I be worried? James shifted uncomfortably. Can we talk? Outside maybe? Kathleen's eyes narrowed, but she stepped onto the porch, closing the door behind her. What's going on, James? He took a deep breath. I've been talking to Megan. Okay. Kathleen said slowly. About Emma's birthday? I told her the party's at 2, but... Not just about Emma's birthday. James met her eyes. We've been seeing each other. Kathleen stared at him, her expression unreadable. Seeing each other? As in dating? It's new. Very new. We wanted to tell you before it went any further. We? So she's in on this conversation? She wanted to tell you herself, but I thought it should come from me first. Kathleen crossed her arms. My sister and my ex-husband. That's, wow. I know it's unexpected. Unexpected? Kathleen laughed, but there was no humor in it. That's one word for it. How did this even happen? James explained about the dating app, the accidental like, the coffee date. As he spoke, Kathleen's expression shifted from shock to something more complex. So this isn't some revenge thing? She asked when he finished. What? No. Kathleen, we've been divorced for 3 years. You're with Greg. We're both moving on. With my sister, though? She shook her head. That's going to make family gatherings interesting. If you're not comfortable with it. It's not about my comfort, James. It's about Emma. And my parents. And Thanksgiving, and Christmas, and every family event for the foreseeable future. James hadn't thought that far ahead. The complications stretched out before him like a tangled web. We'll figure it out. If it even becomes serious enough to worry about. Kathleen studied him. You really like her, don't you? I do. I didn't expect to, but I do. She sighed. Megan always did have a thing for you, you know. James blinked in surprise. What? Oh, she never would have acted on it. She's not that kind of person. But I could tell. The way she'd ask about you. The way she'd defend you when Mom and Dad were being critical. I had no idea. Of course you didn't. You were oblivious to a lot of things. There was no malice in Kathleen's voice, just a statement of fact. That was part of our problem. They stood in silence for a moment, the weight of their shared history between them. So, James finally said. Are we okay? Kathleen considered this. I don't know yet. I need to talk to Megan. And I need time to process this. But. She sighed again. You're both adults. And I'm with Greg now. I can't exactly claim some kind of ownership over either of you. Thank you. For being understanding. Don't thank me yet. I reserve the right to freak out later. She managed a small smile. And if you hurt my sister, I'll have to kill you. Ex-husband or not. Noted. As James drove home, he felt lighter than he had in years. He texted Megan as soon as he parked. I told her. She's processing. Wants to talk to you. Megan's response came quickly. She just called. Coming over now. Wish me luck. All the luck. Let me know how it goes. Hours passed with no word from Megan. James tried to distract himself with work, but found himself checking his phone every few minutes. Finally, just after midnight, it buzzed. Still awake? Yes. How did it go? Better than expected. Worse than hoped. Can I call? James's phone rang seconds later. Hey, he answered. Hey. Megan's voice sounded tired but not upset. So, that was intense. I can imagine. What happened? A lot of questions. A lot of "Are you sure about this?" Some tears, mostly hers, a couple mine. But by the end, I think she's going to be okay with it. Eventually. Really? She said, and I quote, "If you had to fall for one of my exes, at least it's the decent one." James laughed. High praise from Kathleen. The highest. Megan paused. She